hour number 3. I'm Alex Jones, your host. We're the most demonized, most lied about broadcast in the world for good reason. We know what we're talking about, and we're rallying the troops. I want to open the phones up. Next segment. So let me give you the number out on any issue, any topic, any item. You agree with me? You disagree with me? You want to talk about the censorship? You want to talk about Trump? You want to talk about what's happening in the economy? You want to talk about the left openly trying to plunge the nation into civil war? Whatever the subject is, I'd love to hear from you on this Tuesday global transmission. 877-789-2539. 877-789-2539. And again, I am Alex Jones, your host. Very, very honored to be here with you. And then after I take some calls, I'm going to get into these stories I haven't covered yet. Islamicist tyrant Erdogan threatens New Zealanders they'll return in coffins if they visit Turkey. So that's the loving, sweet Muslims. He blames all New Zealanders, Aussies, you name it. He says, we'll kill you. We'll put you in coffins. So don't go there and preach Christianity. Turkey used to be somewhat moderate. Now it's hardcore. He has an Islamic State going. Don't go to Pakistan and tell people you're a Christian. Don't go to Saudi Arabia. Oh, if you're gay and go to Saudi Arabia, they'll kill your butt. But that's okay. Gay people love it. Oh, you killed me. Oh, how nice. I mean, this is insanity. And we'll play that clip coming up. Because think about it. There's people in the House of Islam and those outside. And those outside the House of Islam is the House of War. There's no Muslim country in the world where Christian churches don't get blown up and people don't get killed. But don't worry. The Huffington Post, famously Soros funded when it was launched, and this troll creature came out and complained and tattled along with Media Matters of George Soros and said, Jones posted an Islamophobic video where he said that Muslims attack Christians 100 to 1 and that they blow up our churches on Easter. I mean, every Easter, churches everywhere get blown up. And she says, this is a horrible fake news lie. And YouTube said, yes, there's a channel. It wasn't even our channel. But we knew the folks who set it up. So we did talk to them occasionally on email. They banned it. The site had been around for 4 years. Had 12 million views on it. But you aren't allowed to see that information. You aren't allowed to have access to that information. You have to be told what I said by Amy Russo. Oh, and I love it. Congressman Nunes, when they make death threats against him, they censor his response back. They do all this stuff that's not free speech. It's calls to violence. It's organized crime. Twitter brigades against him. So he sued him for $250 million, along with some users. If you go to the users' sites on Twitter, they're all like, oh, you go, girl. Yeah, we're going to see you in court, buddy, you fascist censor trying to shut us up. These are the very people actually shutting all the conservatives and nationalists and libertarians down. The reason Nunes wants this is discovery. But the New York Times argues, well, Twitter has Section 230 immunity, but they violated that by saying they're a publisher. Why don't newspapers get immunity? I don't have Section 230, protecting everything I do. Why do they? Why do they? Because they say they're not publishers. Pull their Section 230. Instead, Trump is, in the new NAFTA deal, expanding Section 230. Now, obviously, it hadn't gone through Congress. Trump didn't write it. He thinks he's got some better trade deals in it, so he's for it. I get that. But you add that to Trump saying, well, you just have to get used to what's going on and, be better behaved than the left. Better behaved than the left. The left, working with big media and big tech, silences you and then lies about what you said. They had a whole NPR piece and another Huffington Post article out saying Jones is currently saying no one died at Sandy Hook and sending people to their houses to harass them. All of it's out of context. Never sent anybody to anybody's house. But there's the clear and present wolf at the door thing. So they're the ones publishing the thing they say so evil to say nobody died. They're the ones constantly publishing it and then saying, I'm saying it, and then saying, take me off the internet. Roku, take him off. He's sending people to the houses right now. The children are in danger. All lies. All lies. And the left are a bunch of scum who have no morals, no anything. And they'll lie. They'll do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. And now they're coming for your children. A whole bunch of sites that publish my Sunday show where I showed the unspeakable behavior. YouTube channels run by convicted murderers that started the club kid movement about having underage boys at gay clubs. Pedophilia. Who chopped his boyfriend up with a buzzsaw. Or was it a hatchet? They're on there with this poor Desmond's amazing. And in another video they say, well, here, let's just pull it up and play for you. He says, we're about to do some really bad stuff on camera, so bring your children close to the television. And then in Houston, a convicted child rapist is in there with no background check, in the schools, in the libraries, with the little school kids sitting on his lap. And boy, they're taking that video down. Bam, 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 bam. Doesn't matter. Not just me, but folks all over the country are finding out about these, quote, drag queen festivals. And I imagine the globalists might go pull a false flag on one or something. You know, that's how they operate. So if you question grown men who are convicted rapists with your kids, well, then, you know, you're responsible for the terrible event. No, we don't wish any violence upon these people other than if they're found guilty of, say, murdering a child, that they get lethal injection. But the point is you can see what they're going to pull because they're doing this antagonizing movement, putting adults with your kids, in many cases like Denver and other areas, not asking. And they just suddenly, your kid has drag queen story time or career day, and your 5-year-old son or daughter is sitting on some dude's lap, a convicted rapist lap. And if you don't like that, why, you're bad. Because it's love. When a big old fat guy with a beard has your son bouncing on his knee. So let's go to a few of these clips. Here it is. Axe murderer and creep talk about subjecting children to obscene content. Here it is.
And we have to warn you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got young or impressionable children in your household, bring them to the screen right now. What we're going to show you is going to leave an impression on them, and we hope the impression will be that they grow up, if they're 3 or 4 or 5 years old, to become 7 or 8-year-old drag queen performers.
Isn't it nice? And that's just the surface. So let's go ahead and play this clip. This is the first local newscast. Library debuts drag queen storyline. And notice, the reporters are you got to get them while they're young. Yeah, the kids didn't really like it. They're recoiling. Doesn't matter. By the end, they thought it was great. Yeah. It's like some nightmare of being in hell. Are you taking 14 hits of peyote? Here it is.
The Heights Public Library today debuting a new children's story hour called Drag Queen Story Time.
Stephanie Whitfield sat in on the program designed to promote acceptance.
Good morning, everybody!
The Heights Library had a special guest for story time.
Oh my goodness. Everyone is dressed so nice. I wish I would have worn a nice costume for y'all.
A visitor who usually performs for an older audience.
Right. My name is Blackberry. I'm a bearded drag queen. That means I'm a lady with...
I'm a bearded drag queen that looks like a giant 400-pound goblin demon. The kids are like, here, let's continue. Oh, the kids sit on the lap later. Here we go.
Drag queen. That means I'm a lady with lots of facial hair. Do you want to touch my hair?
Hit pause.
No.
Back it up. Let's screw kids up. Let's screw kids up and say a man with a giant beard that weighs 400 pounds is a woman. Let's continue.
Touch my hair? No.
This program is geared towards kids 10 years old and younger.
I just want to expose them to things they don't get to see every day and want it to become the more normal
Like an
and
ISIS
more
beheading,
accepted. They've never seen a drag queen before, so we thought it was a good chance to see one.
But let's turn around